In this video, we're going to cover building presentations or reports. Whereas with dashboards, you're able to visualize your performance in real time to help you answer, how am I doing right now? The value of reports is that you can present the whole story of your performance with all the context to your clients or teams automatically. So you'll use a combination of data, text, and images to provide a record or story of your historical performance. So for example, this could be a report that you build to tell a story of how you performed last quarter to your entire company, or a report you send to your clients to show them how their paid ads campaign performed last month. So to actually build a report, let's navigate here to the sidebar and select Reports. There are a few ways that you can actually get started. You can choose to just select New Report, and that will allow you to create a report from scratch. Or you can choose to start with a template. And here you'll be able to then filter the templates either by team or even by data source. And then by selecting Use Template, it will actually replace the template with your own data. And lastly, you can even choose to turn your dashboard loops into a report. This is a great option because you won't need to recreate or rebuild your data in your presentations. You can essentially just make use of what you've already built and then just layer on additional insights. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll navigate to data boards, and we're going to start with a loop. By selecting the drop-down menu, we can choose to turn our marketing overview loop into a report. Okay, so since we started with a loop, we have a pretty good foundation to start with. To continue building our reports, we can just then add on additional slides. So by selecting this drop-down arrow, we'll be able to see all the slides that are available to us. You can choose to add a dashboard to export a whole entire dashboard into your presentation. You can choose to add a cover slide to your report. You can choose a text slide to include your key findings, or an image slide to include images of your top performing posts, ad views, competition, reviews, your top performance, or even your office dog, whatever you choose to highlight on your report. You can also choose a side-by-side slide, which will allow you to drill down into the performance of one particular metric. So here you're really digging into the details of your performance and can start discussions around your core KPIs. And lastly, you can choose to include a data story slide, which includes dynamic elements about your metrics that are then updated automatically. So for this video, let's go ahead and create a side-by-side slide. And here we want to dig into the performance of sessions. So to add sessions, I would just click the plus button and select Add Metrics, and we can search for sessions. Okay, so I've added my metric sessions, and now I want to explain the performance of this metric in a little bit more detail. So to add a text block, I could just select Add Item and Add Text. I could choose to either type down my analysis myself, or I actually also have the option of using a data story on this slide. So to do that, I can just select these three dots, Add Data Story, and I'll just select the first option. Again, we'll specify we're looking at sessions, and we'll add to report. Okay, great. Now we have a few ways that we can actually continue to customize this report. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start by giving my slide a title. And I'll also change the slide name here. So for this one, I'll say Sessions Performance. Okay, great. I can also choose to change the visual settings. So by selecting this drop-down arrow, I have the options of picking what I want my slide color to be. So let's just change this one to blue. Here at the bottom, I also have the date range, so I can choose to set a different date range for this slide. And for this video, let's go ahead and look at last month. So we can just change that. Perfect. We can also choose to move our slides around. So for this slide, I want it to be under the first slide that we have. So I'll move it to the second position. Okay. And the last thing is that I can even add notes to every slide to help facilitate conversations around specific metrics or dashboards, and also to structure the presentation delivery. So just by clicking here at the bottom, you'll be able to start typing in your notes. You can also use this section to even provide additional context or draw correlations between one or more metrics. And to continue building your report, you would just continue following those steps by just adding additional slide types until you finish building your presentation. And then once you're done building your presentation, you can schedule it to be delivered automatically at a regular time interval. So by clicking schedule, we can follow the instructions here on the pop-up to create a schedule for delivery. A few things that I do want to mention here is recipients do not need to be Databox users. You can type in your client emails or any other stakeholders who would like to receive these reports without them being users on the account. So I'll select a few of my teammates to receive this report. You'll also be able to add a custom subject line and a custom note. I'll leave this as is, but it is an option that you have to send a custom subject line and note when this report is delivered. And then lastly, we would select our frequency. So for example, if we wanted to deliver our reports every quarter, under frequency, we would select quarter, specify the date. So in my case, I'd like to send it in the beginning of the quarter and a time, and then select create new schedule. With our presentations now done, we do have a few other options. You can choose to download your report as a PDF, or you can send it via email once off, or you can even create a reminder. So this is a great option, for example, if you're sending out reports to clients or even stakeholders, and you want to make sure that you have enough time to check the presentation and make changes before it's scheduled for delivery. Okay, so with our reports now set up, we'll actually be able to view the next time our presentation is scheduled for delivery. So to view that, we can just go back to reports and select the tab scheduled. So we'll see here that we have it scheduled to be sent out in 15 days. And then if we navigate here to archive, we'll be able to see a list of all the past reports that have been delivered with an option to download as PDF. So again, this is just a repository of past reports. So it's a great way for you to reference if it's something you wanted to look at in the future.